Hello everyone. In this video, I'll be sharing some kind of tips and trips for cleaning. My house is not immaculate with cleaning, but I try the best I can, and I feel like just cleaning in areas and making sure that everything has a home and a place makes things kind of stay tidy and makes you feel a little bit more sane if you're anything like me. You have to have a tidy space to feel like your brain is functioning properly. My cleaning schedule will typically consist of I keep everything clean and kind of do a light clean every single day, but each day of the week I focus on a different section of the house. For instance, on Mondays I do the kitchen, on Tuesdays I do bedrooms and bathrooms, on Wednesdays I do our living room, Thursdays are for the deck and the downstairs outside area, and then Fridays are for my car and then kind of just whatever I didn't get to throughout the week. It's kind of my catch-up day. And then on the weekends, I'll work with the animals or kind of do, again, whatever was missed or just relax. If everything got done throughout the week, that's my time to relax, enjoy some calm time, and just try to keep everything tidy when everyone's at home. I feel like dedicating a day of the week to each room helps. For instance, we were just sick, so I'm putting away all of our cold medicine that kind of got accumulated in the kitchen, and it's a good way to declutter, to focus. I feel like sometimes you can kind of leave things like piling up in an area, and if you have to or forced to that day to address it, then it kind of makes sure that you're keeping things tidy, that things are going back to where they belong. For me as well, I do write down everything that needs to be done. I can typically go through and just look at the areas of the house and see what needs to be done in that area. But for instance, like the coffee maker, that's something I wash every week. Or for there's different things that I might not remember, hey, that needs to be wiped down. But if I go ahead and wipe it down every week, it kind of helps me remind myself that this needs to be done. If I stay on top of it, it doesn't get as dirty. A tip for laundry that I have noticed, I start a load in the morning, and then I typically kind of time it throughout the day where like I'll set alarms on my phone so that way I know, hey, laundry needs to be swapped over. I also have dedicated days for laundry. So on Mondays, I'm typically doing our family's laundry, so our clothing. On Tuesdays, I am doing our bedding, and then if there's time, I'll do our towels. If not, towels also rolls into Wednesday. And then Thursday and Friday are going to be miscellaneous, or if I need to do our clothes again, or whatever else needs to be done at that point, blankets, again, miscellaneous items. But that way I'm kind of keeping on track of laundry. I don't have too many loads going at once of different things, and I'm able to put it away that day or the next day of what I did the day before. Another thing that helps me as well is I reset our house essentially 3 times a day. People make fun of me because I clean up the kids' toys and kind of reorganize it. But I normally in the morning will kind of reset whatever we have left over from the night. Most of the time everything's pretty clean other than like dishes. I'll put away dishes and stuff. We don't have a dishwasher, so I'll empty our dish drain, clean the dish drain, and do things like that. When my son goes down for his nap and right before lunch, we go ahead and clean up the toys, kind of reset the house so that way when he wakes up, it'll be good for the afternoon. This allows me in the afternoon to be able to prep dinner, and he's kind of occupied because his toys are clean, so he's able to play with them. And I have noticed with him when things are clean and they're kind of tidy and have a home that he plays better with his toys because they're not all over the place. It's kind of new, and I do toy rotations for him. So I'll also rotate his bins out, and that also keeps him occupied and kind of it allows me to cook dinner and allows me to clean sometimes while he's preoccupied. Cleaning, as you'll be able to see, these videos are kind of clips are all throughout the day. With him, I kind of clean when I can, and that's kind of any mom I'm sure will say the same thing. I can't just spend 2 hours on cleaning throughout the day. That's not realistic, unless I did it all throughout his nap, but I also have work to do. So I clean when I can, and that's why it's nice having my list in my chart available. So that way I can kind of mark off, hey, I did that. And I'm a little bit scatterbrained, so I need to know like, hey, this needs to be done, and this has already been done. And so it helps me stay on track when I'm going back and forth between playing with him or cooking a meal or doing whatever it might be throughout the day, because sometimes I don't end up cleaning the kitchen until he goes down for the night. Or sometimes I'm able to clean the whole kitchen before he even wakes up in the morning. So it's really just kind of when I have time and I give myself grace. There are days where I'm not even able to clean the room, and that's why I have those days, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, where if I need to kind of straighten up a certain room, I have those 3 extra days to kind of another pick up where I was lacking throughout the week. Is I'm very big on setting timers for myself. If I'm overwhelmed in an area and I just feel like I can't clean it, a good helpful tip would be to set a 5 to 10 minute timer. And then just say, hey, in 5 to 10 minutes, I'm going to get this section cleaned out and I'm going to have it organized. And then whatever doesn't get done, you know, I can do later. But I feel like when you set that timer, you'd be surprised how much you can get done, and set realistic goals with that. Like I would say, you know, cleaning, for instance, your nightstand or your kitchen counters, like decluttering them. I feel like when you set the timer, it doesn't make you feel as overwhelmed. You feel as though there's an end to it, and hey, I'm just going to get this section done. And you can really get a lot of cleaning done in 5 to 10 minutes. Some people say even when your food's cooking in the microwave or on the stove, like just declutter then. But I implement that a lot. It also helps me because I can also get carried away in cleaning. And so where I realize like, hey, I need to stop and I need to play with my son or do our activity or his learning session. So having those timers sometimes helps me to make sure I'm not, you know, spending an hour cleaning when I need to be, you know, giving him attention and playing with him as well. Being honest though, our house is never spotless, and I try not to, you know, stress myself out about that. We have 2 dogs and then 3 of us in a smaller apartment. So we're all kind of cramped in and we have a decent amount of stuff. So things kind of get left around. And toys, obviously, I'm not gonna, he needs toys and that's just childhood. So I'm not gonna, toys don't have to always be up. But I do try to keep sure everything has a home and everything's clean, while still letting him play and letting us live our lives and not be too totally in control of the messiness. I think one thing that helps us in the summer is that my son loves being outside. So I can clean the house inside in the morning, and then when we go outside in the morning, it doesn't really get dirty because we're not inside as much. So that's kind of one nice thing. In the winter, he's not as much as wanting to be outside all day long as he is, let's say, in the summer or the spring. Something for me as well, my son loves to be a big help. I'm not sure if he'll grow out of this or when we have another one, if they'll want to help as well. But so in those instances when I just want to clean for like, let's say 10-15 minutes and he wants to help clean too, I always incorporate him. You'll see in this coming clip, he wanted to help me Windex the windows. So obviously it's not a chemical or anything that would hurt him. So I'm going to go ahead and let him help me clean. It keeps him busy, and then it also allows me to get the cleaning done that I need in that section. I feel like when you have littles, it's kind of fun for them to feel like they're helping. And it also teaches them, you know, responsibility. I say let your kiddos help when they want to help. I think I've covered most of kind of how my cleaning around our house goes. I would say I'm not very good at pulling up the camera when I'm cleaning, typically because I'm doing those 5 to 10 minute increments of cleaning, and I'm busy or I have my little one around. So not the best at recording videos, but if you like this video, be sure to like and subscribe. Leave a comment on any cleaning tips you have or any tips and tricks that you've learned. I hope you have a great rest of your day.